Yeah, hi there, Knife, and I am Michael, and I'm looking at your summary right now. So the first paragraph, the reading passage talks, subject verb agreement there. Let's see, it talks about the advantages of, I'm going to put credit cards, and the speaker in the lecture cast doubt. Now, be careful your spelling, right? If you're using a spell check, make sure you check it out. Cast doubt in each of these claims. That's good. Yeah, first, according to the reading passage, credit cards have purchase power and make it easy. You might want to say for consumers to purchase goods. You can use goods. In contrast, speaker argues that people can spend money that they don't. If you say that, there's no need to say it because that takes the place of it. So the whole purpose of using an adjective clause connector is to replace the pronoun. So argues that people can spend money that they don't have. You might want to say thereby causing them to go into debt. You can probably say. Second, credit cards, the speaker argues, doesn't help people to build a credit history. Now we're getting into trouble, right? This is where we're starting to get into trouble here. If you're talking about the reading here and then you're talking about the lecture here, then it makes sense to begin talking about the reading here and then the lecture second. Okay, let's take a look at the reading passage. So remember that in the second paragraph, you got a little mixed up on the reading and the listening. So the reading says, having a good credit line, it says credit cards help build a good credit line, right? But then in the lecture, it says if you miss your payments, your credit line can become damaged, right? So we need to show that connection here. So we need to make some changes here. Make this a little bit bigger here. Second, credit cards. The author argues you want to put help. They help people to build a good credit history. Conversely, credit cards, according to the speaker, damage a person's credit line if she or he doesn't make the payments on time, right? That's what I would say there. You have the ideas, you just got them mixed up a little bit. So let's look at what we have. So second, credit cards, the author argues, help people to build a good credit history. Conversely, credit cards, according to the speaker, can damage a person's credit line if she or he doesn't make the payments on time. Third, the author argues that credit cards, they lock up our credit cards. If the consumer missed payments and company will charge a late fee. On the other hand, the speaker said that credit cards cannot offer customers when they purchase new products. I don't know. We're missing something here. We're missing some points, right? Let's go back to the reading passage. This is going to be hard for you. I got a feeling, right? So let's say credit cards offer you protection when you purchase new products. So it's kind of like an insurance, right? Some credit cards offer insurance on large purchases, right? So they offer protection. So the author believes that credit cards more protection and possibly even insurance becomes lost or damaged. You might say. So third, the author believes that credit cards offer protection and possibly even insurance in case an item becomes lost or damaged. On the other hand, the speaker said that credit card companies cannot offer customers when they purchase, cannot offer what? Right? So what are we trying to say here? Let's go back to the listening. It says they do not protect you from an enormous amount of interest on each balance if you don't pay it off at the end of the month. So it's saying that they're not going to protect you from the interest. They might give you insurance, but they do not protect you from the interest. So we'll say cannot protect consumers from the high interest if these okay, so I think we have it here. So, okay, let's look at what we have. So I actually made some changes here. So yours, this is not looking good for you. I'm going to be honest with you because I looked at your summary. You did a summary, I think, from the critical thinking class, and you also tried to summarize this information. And this information was actually quite easy. It wasn't very complicated at all. But still, you're having trouble re-explaining other people's ideas. You tend to leave out important points or you misrepresent information in some way, and that's not going to be good for you, for a grade. So let me take a look here. Let me show you a couple of things. Give me a quick second here. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go to, wait a minute. I need to go over. Okay, give me a quick second. Okay, I'm looking at the actual rubrics I'm using to grade this. So the problem is, especially with the third point, I had to add information in there. I had to change some of what you said in order to make your response a little more accurate, and that's a problem, right? That's a pretty big issue. So I'm going to put you at 2.5 out of 5. 17 points out of 30 on this thing. Now, I'm giving you 100 points for completing this today. However, you might want to sit down here. I'm going to warn you here. If this were the midterm exam, 2.75, right? That would put you at 73% on this assignment, right? So you got to be very, very careful. So I think part of it is you need to make sure that your notes, everything is good. Okay, so let's look at this thing one more time. Let's see what changes I made. Okay, so let's start off. So the introduction, I did nothing because it was fine. I didn't have to make. So the reading passage talks about the advantages of credit cards, and the speaker in the lecture cast doubt on each of these claims. It's fine. First, according to the reading passage, credit cards have, we'll say, purchasing power and make it easy for consumers to purchase goods. You know what? We don't even need all this. Just say, so credit cards make it easy for consumers to purchase goods. In contrast, speaker argues that people spend money that they don't have, thereby causing them to go into debt. Now, this is where you started going off track, so you got to look at your notes. So why did you start in the second paragraph with the lecture when you started in the second paragraph talking about the reading, right? Don't do that. So second, credit cards, the author argues, help people to build a good credit history. Conversely, credit cards, according to the speaker, can damage a person's credit line if he or she doesn't make the payments on time. Third, the author believes that credit cards offer protection and possibly even insurance in case an item becomes lost or damaged. On the other hand, the speaker says that credit card companies cannot protect customers from the interest they will accrue each month if they do not Okay, that's okay there. And that then concludes. Speaker in the lecture clearly disagrees from the high interest if they do not pay. See, you're trying to put the third point in the conclusion. No, you can't do that. You say the speaker in the lecture clearly disagrees with the points the author makes about credit cards. Something like that, right? So I think that's good enough there. All right, so my advice to you is I think you probably need a little more practice. If you want to do some integrated writing practice by email, you can go to my website, practice maybe 2 or 3 more before the midterm exam, and that might help you get this a little bit straighter or better in your mind. So that would be a good thing.